Do you all dream? Okay, good. Me too. Now, raise your hand if you remember your wildest dream as a child. Okay. So I'm a little disappointed because not all of y'all are raising your hand, and that sucks, and I'm sorry. But for those of you who do remember, I want you to take a moment and reflect back to that dream with me, okay? Maybe it was you riding on the back of a really cool dinosaur with that super hot childhood crush of yours. Or perhaps it was you finally gaining the confidence to stand up to the Regina George of your high school days. Okay, yeah, mine was Taylor, and I kind of showed her a couple of times in my head. But if you're a little out there in the world like myself, maybe your wildest dream, okay, stay with me, maybe it revolved around you saving your classmates from flesh-eating zombies, and then you save them with this magical kryptonite juice box in one hand and then a Harry Potter wand in the other. And though we're supposed to be laughing, okay, I have to, it's okay to laugh. Come on, y'all. It's gonna be a good night, okay? So now that we're all laughing right now, I have to say that dreaming has always been something that is truly sacred and precious to me. Because every time I dreamt, I remember feeling the most free. Because in them, I knew that I can be as loud, bold, and wild as I wanted. I could be a black girl prodigy today, a hero tomorrow, and your president next week. I know. Wait for it, 2050, y'all, I'm coming. Dreaming operated as my safe haven. It was refuge in times when the world became too much for me to handle, and when the familiar feelings of isolation, pain, and hurt was felt deeply in my own reality. Oftentimes, in the real world, I was rendered as not being good enough, pretty enough, or smart enough among my peers because I had a speech impediment and a learning disability. And I remember instead of teachers working with me and investing time and patience in my educational needs, they would often mock me, accuse me of not knowing how to read, and expect the bare minimum in coursework. You see, I was educated in a system that often relegated Black students as being unintelligent and incapable of success. Too often, we were passed up for scholarships and accolades. But the psychological toll that I had experienced as a young Black girl navigating these circumstances was detrimental to both my sense of self and how I performed in school. And because I had begun to internalize the very ideas that were projected onto my body, I suffered from mental illness, which led to deep depression and anxiety. And while my dreams were once my safe haven, they quickly became a place where I began to question my self-worth and where I often contemplated suicide because I could no longer see or understand my future. I had battled these feelings alone, hiding it from my parents and my friends, because too often I felt embarrassed and crazy. But I remember vividly that mental state taking a complete transformation when I met my first college-bound coaches, Leah and Marie. Being in their presence, I immediately felt love, encouragement, and acceptance. Things that were before were made inaccessible to me. I had never seen such dedication and effort to us. The struggles to articulate who I was and the weight that I was carrying as a young Black girl navigating these unfortunate circumstances had gone unaddressed. But CB recognized this, and soon after beginning this program, I started seeing Jen Starks, the wellness coach. And in that time, I was able to regain the tools to access the best versions of myself. I was able to heal from past traumas and regain this girl that was buried under so much debris of loss and shame. I am sincere when I say that I would not be here had it not been for College Bound. For African Americans in low-income areas, our ability to access wellness services is basically non-existent. Being able to have good mental health should not be a privilege or only accessible to those who can afford it. Yeah, clap for that, that's true. It is crucial to life success, and everyone should have access to it. And as I stand here today in a much healthier state, I want you to know that I am walking fearlessly through this life with a lot more confidence, and that I am standing taller and speaking a lot louder. Yeah. You hear? And I have begun to believe in my really wild dreams again. Earlier in the school year, my idea and entrepreneurship venture, Black Honeybee Cosmetics, was selected first place in a business incubator. Thank you. I produced a handmade vegan cosmetic line that focuses on fresh and healthy cosmetics catered to LGBTQ folk, Black women, and women of color to self-care and to heal and to spend time with their bodies. My business was built upon the pure reflection of everything I had went through as a child. It was my attempts to rectify the very things that made me feel unworthy, inadequate, and incompetent. It makes space in this world for Black girl magic and carefree Black girls that want nothing but to access the best versions of themselves. I am extremely grateful for the space and opportunity that College Bound has granted me. The values that CB encompasses, like community and unconditional love, made it possible for me to have the mental health services that I needed, and highlights how necessary it is to make them available for others. My name is Tiana Glass, and I'm a Black feminist scholar who just graduated from the University of Missouri-Columbia in December. It's been a long while. It was hard. And I told you that I've begun to believe in my really wild dreams again. And since graduation, my dream of being or becoming a Black woman business owner, it is my reality. Thank you.